Welcome back, everyone, and today we have another request from the stream. This is the best of Philomena Cunk. If you haven't seen it, the original will be down in the description, but it's kind of like a parody channel of sorts where they interview actual like experts, but with like someone who kind of makes up random shit or says like conspiracy theory things. Anyway, it's really funny. I hope you guys enjoy it.
You.
I'm Ian Borden. I'm a professor of architecture at University College London.
What is a building?
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So my shoes are a building. How many three wise men?
She built her shoes? I guess if it's like, remember that old like nursery rhyme where they lived in a cobbler's shoe or something like that? That's kind of what I remember of that.
Were there?
Who knows?
Oh.
And
I don't understand bread sauce.
Oh. The only downside of like best of is they kind of have these weird cuts.
So my shoes are a building. How many three wise men were there?
Who knows?
Oh.
And
I don't
I like the answer to that one. Who gives a shit?
understand bread sauce.
It's a great way of making a really savoury sauce.
Bread and sauce are two completely different things, aren't they?
That's true.
Well, they are, but you can grind the bread down and then cook it in milk to make a really good sauce.
It just looks like sort of cheers.
Okay, to be fair, did you guys ever see the video of British kids try biscuits and gravy from like the U.S.? And they made it look like so awful when they poured it onto the plate. Now, to be fair, biscuits and gravy from southern U.S. is like magic on a plate, even if it looks like one of the worst things you've ever seen, especially if you've never had it. Like if you grow up with it, it's gonna be totally different. People are it's like growing up with like beans on toast, right? Everyone who's like looking at it, they're like, this looks like shit. This looks awful. But then you try it, you're like, okay, maybe I can do this. Actually, I do really like the teacher in that in those videos because he just eats everything. He's like, oh, I like this. Oh, I really like this. Ooh, I really like this. I'll eat everything. That guy's great.
When Henry died, Edward became king, aged just 9 years old.
Edward died aged 15, the youngest anyone had ever died of old age. When you teach your kids...
I guess anyone's ever died of old age. Did you say 14? Of course the British have a dish called shit on a shingle. Is that actually real? All right, fine. You know what we should do is we should because of this video, and we'll probably watch more of her because I know it's like a whole series. Maybe we should look into like the nuances between British and U.S. just for fun. Like I think there is I think it's called Over the Pond. It's a channel where a guy basically moves to the U.S. from the U.K. and he tells everyone on his channel about all the differences. And there's a lot of them. So big one is like, you know, AC units. I love my window AC unit, and a lot of you guys over there need an actual AC unit. You can just buy the mini ones. Or I guess the other one is like garbage disposal, a garbage disposal in the U.S. That's like a mostly really unique U.S. thing. We like to suffer. Yeah. So I've heard. But that seems to be true for every country. We like to suffer too. Primarily with our healthcare. My health insurance for 2 people is $800 USD a month. 2 people. And it's not even like top tier. It's like middle ground shit. I don't even want to know how much an ambulance ride would cost anywhere. All right, let's go.
Shakespeare. Do their heads grow physically bigger?
No.
It's comforting, isn't it, to realise we don't have nuclear weapons these days.
Well, it depends who you mean by we.
Yeah.
The British have got nuclear weapons and have recently indeed decided to increase the number of warheads that...
It was like everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people have nuclear warheads, and they're very, very fucking powerful. And way more powerful than the original 2 that we dropped. Jeez, this is like the Captain America doesn't know about Hiroshima thing again.
that they possess.
Yep, yeah, but they're blanks, aren't they? They're full of blanks.
No, not at all. No. These are fully capable missile systems with nuclear warheads. Many other states have them. I'm afraid that nuclear war and the threat of nuclear destruction remains very much with us.
I assume this is an act, but...
Right, can we talk about something a bit more cheerful?
Anything you like.
Real quick question. Is this like a legit, like, just comedy show, or is it like a real, like, series? It feels like this is because I didn't look into it at all. So this is me going in mostly blind. Okay, the experts are real, but what she's doing is mostly an act, right? Okay. All right, great. That's what it felt like.
Do you like ABBA?
I love ABBA.
Yeah.
When a feminist looks in the mirror, do they see an equal woman or a better woman?
They quite often, like all of us, look for what they want to see, and they look for what they hope to see.
You see yourself back to front, don't you, in the mirror? But not upside down. Why is that?
Well, hopefully, because that's the way that mirrors are designed.
What powers are...
I see myself as upside down, but that might just be an eye problem. Someone actually complained to me. They're like, hey, one of your intros, you don't have an eye patch on. You're not blind. I'm like, I never said I was blind. I just have vision problems, and this makes it easier. And they're like, oh, well, I was going to go on this whole rant. I was like, okay.
Mirror. Sorry, you're not the mirrors expert, are you? And to add insult to injury, that money will most likely have a picture of a man on it, because most banknotes don't have women on them, apart from the Queen, who's on all of them.
Right.
Maybe one day human beings won't need buildings anymore.
No, it's not a gimmick. Yeah, right. If it was a gimmick, I should at least be wearing a pirate hat. Now, it makes it so I can actually stream for more than an hour without like losing my mind, because I have ridiculous eye floaters all over the place. You are not something you did not claim. How preposterous. No, this is the internet, remember? I'm not an engineer. Only Mutahar can claim that title. That was the funniest thing from drama in the last week. Well, okay, so there's like, just as a little side thing, there's like this gel in the back of your eye that slowly comes off. Most people lose it around the age of 65 or so, and I lost it a lot earlier. And the big thing is, if it does come off early, basically what will happen is you'll feel like this weird kind of like click, and then all of a sudden you'll get a ring of flashes for about 3 to 4 hours, and you'll be like freaking out because you'll think it's like a weird migraine. Yeah, no, that's a potential retina detachment. In my case, I got lucky and it wasn't, but I've had a retinal detachment in that eye before. So, yeah. So, just drink people's ocular gel like a vampire. Right. But the problem is, what happens is when that gel comes off your eye, it floats around for a couple of months potentially. But the problem is, if it happens when you're younger, it's maybe permanent. So, and it's not really a huge problem day to day, but I can't drive with it because bright lights, the sun, everything. I can't drive at night with it because it reflects off of street signs and things like that as from my headlights and whatnot. So that's just awesome. And then the biggest problem I have right now is when I stream, I have cameras in my face just for lighting, and it will create like crazy like vision problems all over the place. And it's not hurting or anything. It's just really annoying. Whereas with the eye patch, I can focus better. Even if I apparently can't see very well, I can still see somewhat. Okay, let's continue.
More. Although, for that to happen, we'd probably need to evolve skins made of bricks. And that might take at least another 30 years.
Nah,
but
at
Beth
least
is
only
startled
10.
at dinner by the unexpected appearance of Banquo's ghost, played here for some reason by the letter H.
Which of you have done this?
But what was so great about Henry VIII? Why is he the king
That was
we
a
all
weird
still remember?
video.
Unlike, say, Richard V. Well, for one thing, he was fat, so he takes up more room in the memory.
So the Andromeda Galaxy is going to hit us.
The Andromeda Galaxy, a whole galaxy is going to hit us.
Yeah. On about the same time scale, actually.
So could we fall down a black hole?
Yeah, you could fall into one.
Is that the same? Because I heard
That would probably be the best for humanity. A black hole just smashes into this planet. That'd probably just be the best ending. And like even better, it just appears instantly, and no one even notices it. Like it appears in the middle of the core of the planet, and we just get sucked inward. That'd be great. Best way.
that you could be, if you know, this is one way that the world could end, is that we're all just sucked off through a hole. I mean, that must be terrible. Can you imagine what it would feel like to be sucked off through a hole?
Yeah.
Wait, did she say sucked off through a hole or sucked up through a hole? Because I heard sucked off through a hole, and I'm like, that doesn't sound that bad. Okay, great.
Back in Queen Victorian times, women weren't allowed to vote, even though we had a female king. So some women formed a gang called the Suffragettes.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
People
I misread that. I just read murdering women. I was like, no. That's a whole different issue. I just can't read for shit. No, I mean, there's some people in the U.S. that want to remove the right to vote for women again. And I'm like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why don't you just make everyone be required to vote, like in Australia? Are you gonna fine if you don't vote? That'd be interesting. Although I'm not sure. I want anyone to win at this point. Our political. Actually, I don't know even if I can say anything. I think Twitch has like rules against me bringing up politics and streams that I don't mark as politics. Yeah, we'll just ignore that.
been a victim of crime, which means that 19 out of 20 people are criminals.
19 out of 20
No
people.
wonder.
I could actually believe that. There is definitely something that just about everyone is doing illegal online. Even if they don't know it's illegal. Let alone out just walking around on the street.
We need police. Over the centuries, many things have been used as money, including amber, wheat, eggs, travellers' checks, feathers,
Traveller's checks.
book vouchers, lobsters, beads, gold,
Everything.
leather, nectar points, rice, peas, mugs and money. It was only the last of these that caught on. It's almost unbelievable
I don't know. I think everything's caught on. It's called the barter system.
that before Charles Darwin invented evolution in 1859, no one had ever evolved. Without him,
That's an interesting concept. Imagine if, as long as you can prove like an undying fact of the universe, it doesn't exist until you can actually prove it in like a theory, right? Or it wouldn't even be a theory though; it'd be like an absolute proof, and then it activates and starts working. That'd be so weird.
none of us would be here today, except in the form of fossils or gibbons. This is the National Theatre. It's designed to look so horrible that people are glad to be inside watching boring plays.
It's like the inside of an airport. No one is happy to be anywhere inside of most airports. Yeah, a lot of people hate theater. I don't hate theater. I was in like the performing arts for years, but I wasn't allowed on stage because I couldn't sing or do any of the anything that required any sort of fucking rhythm. What I did do though was I was a light technician for years, so that was a lot of fun.
Today, Britain stands at a fork in its crossroads, and its people are asking questions. Now we've got our country back. What actually is it? Who are we, and why?
It's a piece of land that's basically as much garbage as any other piece of land on the planet.
You know when you
Filled with
read
a bunch of
word
lunatics
in a book
everywhere.
and you sort of hear that word in your head, how do they get the sounds into the ink to make it play in your head?
That's a Kindle. That's text to speech. Oh, better yet, no. You give Neuro or an AI vision, and have them read it back to you with a bunch of swear words.
Well,
She wrote, "The world to an end will come in 1881." A claim which has recently been debunked by experts through a careful process of looking around.
I wish I could have heard the answer to that last one. Yeah, that would have been very interesting. Now, to be fair, you might be able to when we watch entire videos. Assuming I can. I think I can. I don't know though. This is like from the BBC, and I don't know if it will get claimed. I think we can still watch it because I think even if it does get claimed, what happens is it gets muted in most cases. I don't know. I have to look into Twitch. Twitch is kind of weird with their copyright thing.
And seeing the world still here. Today, some people choose to turn the outside of their homes into a giant advent crown.
Yeah, my brother-in-law does this, and he puts on like crazy 6-hour long music displays with Christmas lights. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely avoid copyright with versions like edited down ones like this. I don't even know what his electricity bill would be. The electricity bill with this, I mean, they're all LEDs now, so they're probably not that big. The like for instance, just using an air conditioner would probably cost way more because those things are like 4,500 watts per hour. LEDs do not take up that much electricity. It probably wouldn't be that expensive. The old stuff, the old lights, yeah, I bet you that would bump your bill up like $100 to $200 maybe. I don't know. The most expensive thing in my house is my stupid hot tub. That thing just sucks money out of the ground. But yeah, as for the compilations on YouTube are edited in a very specific way. But I don't know. Twitch has its own system. So I got to do a little more research into that. Like, for instance, regular TV shows, we might just create like a free Patreon and just let everyone just join there. Because then I can do like the Fallout series, which I've never actually watched. So that might be a thought. And I'll just, because originally you couldn't use free tiers on Patreon, but you absolutely can now. So that might be worth it.
A jolly house covered in electric lights may be expensive and use a lot of power, but it's the perfect way to cheer up a world worried about climate change and dwindling resources.
Queen Elizabeth I got a crown screwed on here in Westminster Abbey.
I thought she was going to trip and eat shit on the ground.
It was in this ship Drake became the first person to circumcise the globe, which is probably why this sort of ship is called a clipper.
Okay, that was a good line. Yeah, I wish that was the actual word for that.
People genuinely believed witches were amongst them, their fear fueled by leaked photos like this. Did an explorer ever try to sail into the sky? You know, find a bit of sea that's sort of going up and...
No.
We're often told...
No. Has anyone ever heard of the... There's a theory that boats float on water because they're controlled by the moon's gravity. Not the Earth gravity, but moon's gravity. But that's the only reason they float on water. But cars and everything on land are controlled by Earth gravity. I'm like, yeah, that's a very interesting conspiracy theory. I guess it's not as bad as the flat sun theory, which some people are like, well, we know the Earth isn't flat now, but now we believe the sun is a flat spinning like saw blade, and I'm like, anything to push the bar a little bit further. I think a lot of people do think planes run on belief, especially in the last 5 years. Had a lot of different accidents in the last couple of years, or maybe people have just been paying more attention to the accidents. Might be that. The news only tends to pay attention if it makes money, and plane accidents are making money right now.
To feel sorry for those who are alone at Christmas. But these days, that's all of us, and it's brilliant.
Why did Nelson always have one hand up his jumper? What was he doing up there?
He'd lost most of his right arm, so...
The pagans celebrated the solstice by cutting down holly and ivy and dragging it into their homes, along with a giant Yule log which they'd set fire to. It sounds rubbish, but with no app store to speak of, killing trees and plants was as good as entertainment got.
That's true. That's true. Little fun thing. Did you know an upside down Christmas tree was originally like a Christian thing? I actually put an upside down black Christmas tree in my house for Halloween. And my super ultra conservative in-laws lost their mind when they showed up. And they refused to step in our house. It was the best week ever. Even when I told them that it was originally a Christian thing, they would hang them upside down on the basically screw them into the ceilings, kind of, in a way, on hooks. And it had nothing really to do with Christmas. It was just like this random holiday thing. It was, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. I'm gonna adopt that. Yeah, no, yep. That there's history is very interesting, especially with random religions and things, because you can go back into it and you'd be like, wait a second, New Hallows Eve was not all about witches or anything. That doesn't make sense. I've been told forever that Halloween and anything around that period is like the devil. But you actually look into the history of it and you're like, there seems to be a bunch of disconnect from what actually happened in history here. One example would be what was it? Oh yeah, no, there was the ward of bad spirit one. You're right. Yeah. The talking board, right? Remember the talking board? So that was 50-50 Christian, but 50-50 just kind of like a general time period type thing. And then it became the Ouija board. Because someone's like, oh, I bet you I can turn this talking board thing into a board game. And it became the Ouija board. And then all of a sudden, it's like the satanic panic, right? There were a ton of crazy things that were going around with that. And when D&D was big in, I want to say it was late 70s, early 80s-ish. I don't know. It was basically before the internet. No, I swear. I think Parker Brothers bought the Ouija board. I swear they bought the rights to it. Some random dude made it, and they bought the rights to it. Isn't that how it works? But it was originally based off of the original talking board, which they just happened to see, and which has been around for years. We should definitely look into the history of that one, because that one just sounds interesting. All right, let's keep going. It's
Even
gonna be a
at
weird
Christmas.
video.
Despite being the stuff of nightmares, Santa is the world's most popular home intruder. But at Christmas 1914...
He is a weird home intruder. If you ever think about it, sometimes I kind of wish Krampus would visit just to beat the shit out of Santa. This is going to be a really hard video for me to edit. Oh, well.
There was a brief ceasefire. The fighting stopped.
Soldiers got out of their holes and joined together in a place called No Man's Land, showing that even at moments of peace, men will still divide into two sides and try to beat one another.
The ending. Okay, we'll definitely watch more of those over time.